Okay. Hi. I love Asian drinks because they have jellies and pearls in them. And it's kind of like drinking a dessert and eating it at the same time. It takes some skill to get too used to something with pearls and jelly in it. Definitely takes some skill. I've choked several times. Oh my God, I almost spilled it all. Come here, girl. Come on. Joy. So I figured I'm not gonna do expedites today for reasons I don't care to talk about. Actually, I want to say it, but I'm not going to say it. It's not bad stuff. It's not bad stuff. So I figured instead we'd come here, we'd do some, maybe some story time. But you get to pick what story. What do you guys want to know? What do you want me to share about my human history? Thank you. Can you plug it into that white? Sorry, my laptop's about to die. Totally didn't plan this out.
I feel it.
Hold on, guys.
It's not on my live streams either. It's just you're missing like 5 chords. You're thirsty and you use the bathroom all of a sudden.
That's usually how it works. So yeah, whatever you guys want to pick my brain about, you definitely can. We could talk about all sorts of different periods in my life. I don't really feel too inspired to just pick on my own what to share. I would need you guys to kind of tell me what you'd want me to share. My brain is blank. So sometimes when I go through ascension cycles, my brain will be barely functional. Joy, come here, girl. Come here, girl. Come here. Come on. She's my girl. So let's see. Have you ever experienced domestic abuse for some reason and keep repeating same old patterns? I'm exhausted. I haven't experienced domestic abuse in my romantic relationships, but I've definitely witnessed it quite a bit growing up. I'm wondering if the patterns you're playing out in your adult life are patterns that you witnessed in your younger life. Because I've shared before, like, when I was way, way younger, I was actually actively looking for and waiting for whoever I was in a relationship with to become abusive, and no one ever did. Probably because I'm too aggressive. No one ever did. And to me, it was kind of like, well, if you don't get infuriated with jealousy, then you probably just don't love me. So yeah, I'm wondering if it has to go or is rooted in things you witnessed or experienced as a child, or if there was some sort of violations that occurred in young adulthood that caused you to really take in that this is just how life is. Life is painful. This is just how it is, you know? I know quite a few people who they've experienced quite a bit. And, you know, as they sit there and talk with me about like their experiences and what they're struggling through, because it's often very difficult stuff. Sometimes it involves domestic abuse. Sometimes it involves You're the dog whisperer now, huh?
Hey, I will bend you in different ways.
I'm live. He said he was going to bend her in different ways. But yeah, it could stem from something like that. You just have to really look at what's happened in your earlier life. When, like I said, when people come to me and they talk to me about things like that, I mean, obviously I can listen. And when they're done telling me whatever they want to share, I'm kind of like, so what happened when you were a kid? Was it, does it remind you of any dynamics that you witnessed? Shh, stop it. And they usually say yes. It's usually like, well, I saw so-and-so do this and that to so-and-so. Yeah. Okay, so the one guy that that could respect your boundaries and calm you down, why are you no longer together? And was it his job to calm you down? And because he was able to calm you down, and, he kind of, was there a part of you that saw it as, oh, he just takes my shit, he's not man enough? Because, I mean, some cultures teach that. Probably not intentionally, but I do see some cultures teach that. When did I acknowledge my gifts? That was when. That was when. So everything, I just kind of, everything that I was aware that I could do, and not just coincidence, but I was actually doing it, I would explain it away as coincidence. I never wanted I never wanted to admit that it was me. Until I believe it was 2016. 2016 was the year. And like I said, I've always been able to do the things that I do. But 2016 was the year that I was like, okay, I'm never going to be normal. My mom got very, very sick. And she ended up having, I want to say, probably around 4 strokes in 1 month, 2 heart attacks, 3 brain bleeds. Yeah, all of that stuff. And I kept reversing everything. She was still, when I left, she was still able to kind of walk. She was weak, of course. She could walk. She could sit up. She could feed herself, all of that. And I think, that's kind of, that was like a very pivotal point for me. Because short of my patient being her, I probably would have been like, oh, this is just too much. I'm not going to get involved. It's, yeah, short of her. And before all of that began, like just maybe even 2 or 3 weeks before that began, I had told Michael, because I'm very like logical. And I need tangible proof. I need scientific process. I want proof. I'm not just going to blindly believe you. I don't give a shit what your name is. I'm not just going to blindly believe you. I want proof. And I needed proof to know that first I was actually providing some sort of therapeutic effect on the people that I'm working with. And then secondly, I needed to be medically confirmed, meaning I need actual diagnostic testing. I need the results. And I had worked with a child before her, maybe I want to say a year or two before her. And this child probably should have passed. I wasn't trying to get involved. I was just trying to support the family. And it was serious. What was going on with this child was very serious. Very, very serious. It's a condition called FIRES, FIRES. It's a syndrome. They don't really know what to do. It causes severe brain damage, brain injury. And he's still on his journey, but I was able to excuse that away. Stop it. Joy, come here. Come here. Come here. Joy. Come here. No, you don't get to run around now. You got to come into my lap. All right. But I was able to excuse that away as like coincidence. Coincidence. I don't think his family thinks it's coincidence, but I was able to excuse it away. And with all the things that my mom went through, the point where it really like made sense to me that I can't excuse this. I never left her side. I was always at the hospital with her. If she got readmitted, I stayed. And the neurologist, the last time I saw her have a stroke, it was in her doctor's office. The doctor didn't see it. And I was like, you didn't see that? Her face, it drooped and then it went back. And as soon as they said that, that's a symptom of a stroke. He called 911, had the ambulance come transport her to the hospital. And I was sitting and waiting with her in her room. And the neurologist comes in. And he's saying, it's confirmed, there's another stroke. And I was like, was it on, let's say, the right side of her, was it the right side of her brain? Near the center of her brain. And he stopped typing and he looks at me and he goes, did someone already come in here? And I was like, no, you're the first one to come in since we've been admitted. And he goes, how do you know that? And I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, how did you know it was at that part of her brain? Because it was confirmed with the MRI, but there's no other symptoms. There's really no way for you to know that unless someone came in and told you the results. And I didn't say anything. And he's like, you're always with your mother. Whenever she comes in, you're always with her. What are you doing at home? Nothing. Nothing. I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm not going to tell you that I'm doing subatomic attunements, recodement, and recalibrations on her to reverse the presentation of symptoms and deficits caused by cranial bleeds. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to admit that. That was a turning point. It was definitely the turning point for me where I was able to actually acknowledge my gifts. And even then, I still wasn't offering paid sessions. Whatever work that I do, you have to be referred by someone that I know, that I cherish. It has to be word of mouth. And you have to swear to me that you will never tell anyone who I am and what I did for you. That was the agreement. I don't need money. I just need you to swear to me. You will never tell anyone. You can share your experience, what you witnessed, but you'll never tell anyone who I am. Who I am, how to reach me, any of that. So, do you believe in suppressed memories? Yeah. I have quite a few suppressed memories. She thought it was someone from inside. See, now you're in trouble. I thought these dreams were dreams. Turns out I have memories from before I was 1 year old. From this life. I also have dreams that used to come quite a bit. They were dreams of how I died in a previous life, the life right before this one, down to the exact details, all of that. I've had dreams where my old names came up, names from previous lives, and I look it up and holy shit. Yeah, things like that. Names that I've never heard of before in this life. Oh my gosh, Melissa. Wow, Melissa Dawn. That's intense. Let's see. Do you believe that soul contracts have been rewritten? I ask this because my abusive biological father. Leanne, there's nothing that I can or want to say publicly, but I hope your heart feels what my heart feels. So, do I believe that soul contracts are or have been rewritten? I believe for some of us, adjustments to agreements that we made on a soul level are happening for some of us. And I know others of us will become very upset that I'm saying this and talk about I make no agreement. Well, your human mind can believe whatever it wants to believe, but the human mind doesn't trump the soul. It just doesn't. There are things my soul agreed to that my human mind just cannot comprehend. There are things my soul promised that my human mind just doesn't want to agree with. So you find the middle ground. You find the middle ground of what your soul wants and what your human mind can accept, what your human mind can process. Like there's consistently all this push. I have to have connection with specific individuals. And I really am at a point where it's like, I don't want to. Why? I don't know. Maybe because you keep pushing shit. I don't know. Let's see. You're welcome, Leanne. This is such a deep, entrenched type of energy. I don't like to speak about my father. I can't guarantee my civility if that wound rips open. So I don't like to talk about it. I'm sure there's things that I could probably share regarding that would help other people process, but I think right now I have to just really make my maintenance of wounds my priority. I hope that makes sense. What other stories do you guys want me to share? No, don't be sorry. You were ready to talk about it. Just because I'm not doesn't mean you should be quiet. And maybe witnessing me still struggling with that can help you to understand that I'm nowhere near as evolved as people assume I am, and that maybe it's time for you to recognize you're actually evolving beyond where I can go right now. And that's something powerful and beautiful. It's definitely powerful and beautiful. It's a very intense level of vulnerability. It's a type of vulnerability that really can tear down walls with one swing. So, Akashic. I think the people who tried to come after you but failed. What was that about? Demon whores. Demon whores. So basically, like I said, when I believe in someone, I really put my all in trying to promote them, trying to help them succeed, just really being there, being present. And that's what I do. And I'm learning that not everyone can handle being loved in that way. Because sometimes, well, considering my track record for doing this, every single time I've done that, it didn't take long for the individual to make that jump from, well, you know what? If I'm getting all this now, and it's just a fraction of what she's getting, if we get rid of her, then it'll be all mine. Which is unfortunate because what they were getting was my abundance. It's mine. And I just have no problem sharing it. And when you begin doing things like that, where you're trying to intentionally harm me, not just business-wise, I'm talking about in all aspects of it, then I no longer feel it's appropriate to share of my abundance. And then they get angry. Because first it goes from trying to personally attack me to, oh, Emmie is so mean. Emmie is this. Emmie is that. She makes me feel so small. And no, you make yourself feel small. I don't make you feel small. I raised you up only for you to come to this realization it wasn't your wings you were using. And then you get mad. And then that's that. You can be mad on your own. I don't need to be a part of that. And that's what it was. It really was this whole ridiculousness. I'm just like, I can't even be bothered by that. I can't. I have other things in life that I'm enjoying. Let's see. How and when did you first find out about your gifts? I've just always been like this ever since I was little, like little. I never actually really behaved like a child. I was just annoying like that. I was like a little adult and you just couldn't tell me shit. Like, I can hate the sun. Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. I was too short. I'm too short to adjust the umbrella. All right, hold on. There. So, what was I answering? Why do they come after us? I don't care. I'm sorry, Melissa. I don't know. I don't care to find out. How did you manage to find balance with your principles and the outside world? I think that happened when I realized the outside world is merely a reflection of my internal chaos. And I can either spend the whole of my life trying to organize a tornado, or I can utilize that tornado for myself and my growth. And that's when I recognize the balance. Let's see. So, oh yeah, I just was always like a precocious, weird ass kid. I was, I remember being in preschool and my mom bought me a medical dictionary. Well, first she bought me a Charlie Brown anatomy book. It must have had something like 40 or 50 pages in it. It was Charlie Brown. I saw it in the grocery store. I saw it at Alpha Beta. I still remember all this shit. I was in preschool. I saw it at Alpha Beta. And I was so teary-eyed when I asked her if I could have it because, although she's very financially stable, you just were not allowed to squander on garbage. But when she saw that it was a medical like scientific type book, she said yes. And then I brought it home and I memorized all the pictures and I tried to figure out what the pictures said. And then I cried because everyone in my family got sick and tired of me asking them to read me the book. And I cried not because they wouldn't read it to me, but because I didn't know how to read. So I cried so hard. I'm totally that kind of kid. And then when I did learn how to read, she would take me with her because she's an RN, she's a BSN. And shh, Joy, hey, Joy, boys, can you bring Joy inside? You are out of hand. She's trying to slide under the fence, climb rocks to get to the neighbor who's minding their own business. Joy, go inside. She looked back. I'm sorry. And then when I did get to learn to read, she bought me a couple medical dictionaries. And then she would take me with her. If you guys aren't familiar with nurses and just people in the medical field, you have to do continuing education. So that means you have to go to workshops and recertify and all this stuff. And the last time she took me, I was like in second grade. Was it second grade or was it fourth grade? I don't remember. Well, I think maybe fourth grade. She took me with her for a week-long seminar in Monterey Bay. And she thought it'd be fun if I came with her and we went to the aquarium and yada, yada. So I went with her to this seminar. My mom was a charge nurse for the PICU. No, the NICU, the neonatal intensive care unit. She takes care of the sickest newborns. And the seminar had a portion where they're talking about in vitro fertilization and the high-risk neonates. And I just thought it was so fascinating because this was the first time they were, really presenting to the medical field. All the members of the medical field were learning about in vitro fertilization. And I was just like, oh my God, and I was taking hella notes. And by the end of this week-long seminar, the ladies in front of us, they turn around and they're like, you must be so proud of her. All this shit. And I'm like, what are they talking about? Well, this was a time when Doogie Howser was very big on TV. I don't know if you guys remember that show. Doogie Howser was a show about a teenage boy who was an actual practicing MD. He was just a genius. He was basically like a medical savant. And they all thought that I was a savant. No, I'm not. It was fascinating. It was fascinating. And so I took notes on the high-risk neonate and IVF. So yeah, I've always been weird like that. I remember I think I was either in 6th or 7th grade, and my mom's always had like cardiovascular issues, and I was taking her blood pressure, and I didn't know what was wrong. I didn't know what any of the values meant. And then it was just like, I think I'm going to be a cardiothoracic surgeon. And just, yeah. Yeah, my kids are not average. One of my kids learned to read at 17 months. He was reading by himself, 17 months old. And then that one, when he was 3 years old, Stanford University got wind of him, and they kept inviting us to allow him to take courses in Stanford. And I was like, I can't afford that. Yeah, not for preschool. And then I remember when he was like, I want to say 4. I found this program in the Oakland Hills. I don't remember the name of it anymore. But this program, they cater to children like him. He's categorized as profoundly gifted. So there's gifted, highly gifted, and there's, I think, another one, and then there's profoundly gifted. And this program was fucking phenomenal, dude. I wish I could have afforded to be able to continue to go. I think it's something like, I want to say $600 or $700 per unit. And the thing about this, they're children his age. They're just like him. The courses there are taught by the heads of Ivy League departments. He took Intro to Biology, and it was taught by the head of the biology department at UC Berkeley. I was like, fuck yes, fuck yes, fuck yes. Yeah. I remember one day, and I would stay in class with him. I remember one day, she goes, okay, mommy, we're going to let the kids take home their experiments. Just so you know, you're going to need to keep this in the bag and dump it in a bottle or a bucket of bleach water. And I was like, huh? And she goes, yes, we were growing E. coli. I was like, oh my God. Okay. Yeah. So education, not necessarily certificates and achievements, have always been really big for me, for my kids. But yeah, I tell them, whatever you want to be, we support it. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Education should be free. Education should absolutely be free. I had the educational system fighting with me for a long time. And I'm like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I even had one of my kids' pediatrician tell me I need to stop teaching them at home because by the time they enter preschool, they'll be bored. I mean, it just goes to show, like, your children will only advance as far as you believe they can and will. I remember I entered him into a preschool. One of my friends at the time told me about it. It's a cute little preschool. And mind you, so he's like 3 years old. That's around the time they do preschool. He's already doing college level work. We have college level anatomy I was teaching him. I forgot what else, but we were heavy in anatomy. We loved that. And the teacher talks to the children the way a preschool teacher does. Slow. And so after the first day, I asked my son, how do you like it? Is it fun? You get to play with the other kids. He tells me, yeah, it's kind of fun. Does my teacher have a learning disability, or is she maybe special? I'm like, what? What happened that you're asking me this? Well, she just talks really slow, and I wonder if she has some sort of learning disability. I'm not sure if she understands what I'm saying to her. I was just like, you can't, did you tell your teacher that? And he goes, no, I wanted to ask you first. You cannot ask your teacher if she has a learning disability or some sort of handicap. That's how people talk to children. And he was just like, why? He was offended. He's like, why? I was like, I don't know. Children of the world don't get treated the way you are. And then so I took him out of that. I found another preschool. And this was run by, this is so racist for me to say, by a certain type of Asian. Okay. And this culture is known for really heavy emphasis on education and producing producing adults who are highly successful as professionals, okay? So I bring him to this preschool, and I love it. I love it. The kids are like 3, maybe 4 years old. Everyone reads. Everyone's doing math. You know, they're just pushing. So she does the testing for him to see what type of material she needs. And she comes out of the room because they were in the room together by themselves. She comes out of the room and she goes, "Mommy." I was like, "Did he do okay?" And she tells me, "Oh, Mommy, I have to buy new books for him." I was like, that's a good thing? And she says, "Yes, he's far more advanced than the other children." I was like, "Oh, okay, well, okay. When can he start?" And he starts, and she just adores him. She adores him, Miss Shy. She adored him, and like he was there for a few months when I came to pick him up, and she pulled me aside, and she's like, "We have to talk." I was like, because she's like around my age, and so you know we could kind of relate. And she says we have to talk, and I was like, "Did something happen?" And she goes, "Well, he pulled me aside earlier in class, and he said he needed to defecate." And I was like, "Oh, well, did he poop in his pants?" She goes, "No, he said he needed to defecate. That was the word he used." And I was like, "Well, did he make a mess? Did you need me to, you know, if you had called me, I would have come in. I would have helped him clean himself up." And she's just like, and I was like, "What was wrong?" And apparently she didn't realize that's how we talk at home. If you need to defecate, you need to let me know so I know whether I need to assist you or if you could do it yourself. So she was just like, and I was like, "Well, that's what it is. That's the technical term for it." And then I remember not long after that, she pulled me aside again. And I guess he had fell during their break time. He hurt his knee. And she was asking him what's wrong. And he told her, "I think I've fractured my patella." And I'm just like, "Well, is he okay?" And she goes, "Of course, obviously. Of course, you talk like that at home." I was like, "Yeah. Do I need to bring him in to get it?" I mean, yeah, no, like my kids don't, they talk like educated adults. Like, one of my brothers was talking to my youngest. He goes, "Dang, you ate your popsicles already? You ate all of them? You finished the whole box?" He goes, "I'm persistent." He's persistent. That's right. I don't know. There is a large missing gap in my memory as a child. Literally no memory. But as I go through life, it's as if I'm cursed. I don't know. I don't know if we have to be careful that just because we don't understand something or we can't rationalize why something happens, that we have to be careful that we don't jump to conclusions like that where immediately I'm cursed. I mean, I don't know if you are or aren't, but generally speaking, we just have to make sure we don't jump to those types of conclusions. A lot of people don't remember much of their childhood. My husband doesn't either. I remember a lot just because, like, before I started doing as much energy work as I do now regularly, I guess also before my frequency reached a certain level of dimensional consciousness, I used to have a photographic memory. Just, I don't forget anything. I don't forget faces. I don't forget names. I don't forget details. At one point, I think I was in my late teens, early 20s. I had all my credit card numbers memorized. I could memorize 16 string booleans. I could, all 16 digits, I can memorize that like that. Show it to me once, I'll memorize it. Now, I don't know if I ate. I don't know what the day is. I don't know what time zone I'm in. I don't know shit. Yeah. stress can definitely do it. Sometimes it's more than stress. Sometimes it is that you're reaching higher levels of dimensional consciousness, and that pulls you further astral. So the further astral you operate at, further level of out of body that you operate, you're able to channel much more high frequency, but your short-term memory is affected. Whatever is not traumatic or of important detail, that's gonna just. That's why when you guys, when I have sessions with people and like, oh, you told me this, this, and this, I did. Okay, I ain't even gonna bother lying to you. I don't remember anything. I just don't. I don't. Like you could tell me like, oh, you said this, this, and this. Okay, I'll let you say whatever you want. I don't know what I said. I don't know what I meant. If that's how you received it, then that's how you received it. I don't know. It would have to be much for me to recall it. And so that's why if I recall things during live streams or during sessions, it's usually a very important detail for you, probably. Very important. Yeah, it does make arguments hard. And one time I got mad at my husband for something. I don't even remember what. I still don't remember. A couple hours later, he like tries to hug me and I'm like, I'm mad at you. He goes, for what? I don't know. I don't remember, but I'm mad at you. So now we have a new rule. If I can't remember why I'm mad, I can't exactly be mad. I could just be like, you're fucking annoying. So that's all you. That's like some really good perks to it. Those are perks. Do you know of a time where humanoid species could fly using energy? I'm having so many dreams of fighting wars. Yes, I do. So part of the things that I remember, and I have no way of proving this, so I could just be full of shit. I could totally be full of shit. The way the pyramids were constructed, there were looked like big, almost like a horn. It spirals on itself, and then there's a big tube that comes out, kind of like a trumpet type, but it spirals on itself like a conch, and you push energy through it, and as it spirals, it amplifies and amplifies, and then it levitates it. They've actually replicated this technology, small scale. But yeah, I think what you're talking about is a specific type of Blu-ray cloister. Our devices, our technology, it used the crystalline structures within our bloodstream. You just go like this over the machine and it's reading your code. No one else could use it but us. Yeah, no one else could use it but us. I'm sure somebody has this type of technology, but they can't use it. They need to have someone from Cloister, and the Cloister member has to be willing. And unfortunately, you can't bribe, coerce, threaten a Cloister member to cooperate with something like that. Deactivates the code, so you can't use it. But yeah, probably shouldn't have said that. So, oh. Melissa Dawn, a few years ago, I realized that I closed my eyes when answering because I'm looking for the place where it was written or seen. You're looking for the string that guides you back to the place where it's stored within your Akashic records. It's a bookmark. So oftentimes, one of the ways that people who analyze highly gifted children, like profoundly gifted children, one of the things that they do, not necessarily close their eyes, but they'll look up at the ceiling. They will look up at the ceiling and it's like, what are you looking at? And they'll be able to answer you. So that's what they're doing. It's memory recall. They're looking for whatever neurological pathway was used to store that. Yeah. So again, talking about one of my kids, because I've homeschooled them their whole lives. he got in trouble because at school, because we were part of a homeschooling program, the teacher wanted him to put all the work on the page when you submit the homework, or else they accuse you of cheating. And he wasn't cheating because we had a video conference with a teacher. They gave him, I don't know if it was like trig, or maybe it was some calculus work or something. It was some like advanced math work. And they gave him the problem, and he's like, and he gave the answer, and I was like, don't ask me to explain that. And he had it right. So yeah, it's memory recall. It's like the strings are like strands of a cloth bookmark, and they tell you exactly where on the page to look. Yeah. Piezoelectric effect from the weight of the pyramid structure. I have piezoelectric quartz. Do you want to see it? Hold on. Hey, Yay. Could you please get my clear rock on the table? The dining table? Ooh, you guys are going? You want to take Uncle's scooter? You can ride between my legs in the kid's seat. Yeah, I can drive. Where's Daddy? Okay. I'll GPS it. Thank you. You shocked me. All right, so piezoelectric quartz. This shit broke my phone. So this right here is where my thumb goes. It's like it was made for my thumb. Goes like that. What's that for? Ass kicking. It's my rowdy Russian. Look at that. Look at even when I cover where the light shines, still shines. It's for ass kicking. Do you do any work with kids? Oh yeah. Hell yeah. I work with children a lot. Because I have so many children, and they're all like, they're not rainbow, they're not crystal, they're diamond ray children. Yeah, I'm very familiar with how to support diamond ray children. You can't tell them what to do. You just can't. You can speak to them as an equal, and they'll respect you as such. But if you think you're going to try and like dictate, good luck with that. And you'll never break them, ever. They'll just learn to treat you the way you treat them, in a very dismissive manner. So my kids are very, very sensitive to me and my moods and all of that. Sometimes they are the ones that tell me like, hey, I think you're having a rough day. Yeah, I think you're irritated right now. Am I? I'm not. And then I realized, shit, I am. Yeah. My littlest, did you have to work on a demon again? Was the demon not cooperating? Yes, baby. Well, Mommy, did you let them know you can kick their butts? No, baby. Yeah, kids are fun. Kids are definitely fun. All right, one more question. I was having a dream of geometric patterns forming in space. You were looking at looking at some stuff, girl. That's light code. That is the basis of the formation of creation. Yeah. Yes, Adam. I have to speak to my 3-year-old in a more adult way to help him understand validating his motions as well works. Also, not saying you, but instead we. Like, okay, I need you to clean. No, you're not going to say it like that, because then they're going to be like, I didn't make that mess. No, group effort. We need to clean our mess because at this point, it's now overwhelming mommy. So now they understand, oh God, we don't want to deal with her like that. Let's go ahead and clean together. Is it strange or something within me that I have dreams of apocalyptic wars? It's not strange. It's not strange. It's not strange. It's not strange. How would one get signed up to find out more, like a session? Claire Tarot session would work. Like an hour-long session. We could just talk. Yeah. Messages. I don't know. Does it feel like a message to you? I tell you, if you're wondering if it's like a precognitive dream and that, that's how the world is going to go, I've had quite a few of those dreams for much of my life about how things play out, and that's not written in stone. It's not written in stone. Nothing in the future is written in stone. There's no singular thing that can't be shifted and experienced in a different way. It's something that we're going to have to choose as a collective whole. If we continue to choose to allow ourselves to be sucked into this program of separation, domination, arguing, it'll absolutely happen that way. But enough of us are becoming cognitively aware. We're becoming aware, and if enough of us become aware, we won't choose that. See, here's the thing, okay? I'm going to tell you guys what I realized about Bible stuff. A lot of it serves as like stories, fables. Portions of it serves as actual instruction. Other portions of it serve as programming, seeding. And then other portions of it serve, if you can see behind the words, you'll know it's telling you how to avoid certain things. So let's focus on the seeding part. If I'm going to manipulate you, logic would tell me I would first seed this idea. I would seed it and 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 seed it until it's now your idea. And then I'll validate it. And so when the things that I'm telling you will happen are about to happen, oh my God, see, it's happening. But who's really causing it? Me. So in order for the things to play out the way it's said in the Bible, we need to bring it to fruition. We need to give it our energy. We need to ask no questions and blindly believe that this is what's going to happen. Is it what's going to happen? I do not consent. I just do not consent to that. Y'all can have that on your own. I tell Micah, hey, if shit's popping off, you better suspend it until I evac the area and go somewhere nice and quiet. So the promise has always been, ever since I was in my adolescence, young adulthood, if the world chooses to destroy itself, I'll be hidden away. Roasting marshmallows over fires, hidden away with whoever is with me. I'm not allowed to be a part of that. I don't want to be a part of that. 88% at 813 of 413. 8, 4 plus 1 plus 3 is 8. 8, 8, 8. Fuck that. Y'all can do that shit by yourselves. Hey, I gotta have limits. So I've seen myself so many times, all the different ways in which I end up there. Quiet. It's very quiet and it's very peaceful while the world destroys itself. I'm not here to save anything. I'm here to encourage you to choose to save yourself and remove yourself from that program. The more of us that remove ourselves from that program, the less that program has energy to come to fruition. Fuck that. I have a bug out bag in the trunk of my car. There you go, girl. Oh, shit, Adam. I had a dream the other day. I was bringing wilted flowers back to life with golden energy from my hands. It was kind of nice. The environment that you were in, was it kind of like palatial with white stone? You were fighting with a woman who was making them die. Shit. What type of flower was it? Do you recall what type of flower it was? That's such a deep message. I don't know if you understand what it is. Do you want me to tell you? Do you want me to tell you what that dream is telling me? It was the funeral of the world as we know it. You were fighting with a woman, probably Lilith, who was convincing the flowers to die through the suctioning of their energy, draining them, keeping that hydroplasmic water from keeping them alive. There's an attempt to sever us from that flow of energy. It's already been done. And we're seeking to shift it enough so we can reconnect. That golden energy is Christ consciousness energy. You're doing non-specific induction. Yeah, no matter how the details play out, we win in the end. And that's why, who cares? In the end, everything is rebalanced. It really, really is. So there's no point in worrying and being afraid. Those of us who are not there at the end of all the shifting, that's because we were never meant to be. That wasn't something we agreed to experience. And that's just one of those things. So, all right, I think everyone's ready to go to the park, the faraway park. I'll talk to you guys again very soon. Thank you to everyone. Sorry I didn't do expedites today. I just kind of needed a break and a chat. All right, I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.